Best in Blue.
Connecting you, the listener, to the everyday inner workings of the Memphis Police Department.
Best in Blue on the Kazukian Network.
You're listening to the Best in Blue right here on the Kazukian Network. I am DC, host of this program, along with my trusty co-host, Leah Romer. Hey, Leah.
Hey, DC. It's so good to be with you today.
I know, it's great. You know what? On today's program, I'm going to talk a little bit about recruiting with the Memphis Police Department. I think the mayor has issued some edicts. He's asked the director, and he's asked him to get those numbers up. How do we help get more people involved in the applicant process, right? And so today we're going to have Kevin Moore, and I think he's a part of the department, Memphis Police Department. He's the lead recruiter, and he's a guy I've known for about 30 years, and he's one heck of a guy.
Yeah, I have the opportunity to run into him at community events and functions, and he's always recruiting the best in blue. He's definitely one of the best in blue.
He sure is.
You know, we're going to try to find an answer to the mayor's call of increasing officers on the street. And I think we kind of are going to get into the modifications and how the requirements have changed and have been modified to provide options for people that are thinking about maybe joining the police department.
Wow. So you know what? Stick around, and we're going to be hearing from Kevin Moore, lead recruiter with the Memphis Police Department, right here on the Best in Blue on the Kazukian Network.
Best in Blue, Best in Blue.
Hi, this is the lead recruiter with the Memphis Police Department, Officer Kevin Moore. Join the Best in Blue. Our requirements are achievable. Our standards are the highest. Our officers are the finest. We are the Best in Blue. Join MPD.com.
Best in Blue.
Let's get connected.
Neighborhood Connect.
Paul Young here with Joyce Cox. We'd like to thank you all for listening to Neighborhood Connect. Vice President of Client and External Relations for Universal Commercial.
Proud to be a part of this podcast.
Neighborhood Connect.
You always get enlightened, inspired, and then, you know, there's no more inspiring and enlightening place than Memphis, Tennessee.
Neighborhood Connect.
Neighborhood Connect.
Here in Kazukian.
This is Sergeant Milton Bonds with the Memphis Police Department Sex Crimes, Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, and you're listening to the Best in Blue on the Kazukian Network.
You're listening to the Best in Blue on the Kazukian Network. I am DC, one of the hosts of this program, sitting alongside my trusty co-host, Leah Romer.
Hey, DC. How's it going?
You know, it's going. That's all I can say. It's hot and it's going.
Yeah, it's a little hot outside.
Yeah,
but
not a little hot outside.
We're going to be all right.
I saw the devil turn his cape in. I mean, it was ugly. It's pretty hot out there. But, you know, speaking of how hot it is, we've got one of the best officers the Memphis Police Department has ever had in the career. And that is one Kevin Moore, who happens to be with the Memphis Police Department recruiting team. Welcome to the Best in Blue.
Welcome, Officer Moore.
It is indeed a pleasure to grace your presence.
I've never heard that said that way, but I appreciate that.
In other words, I'm glad to be here.
We are glad to have you.
Let's jump right into this thing, talking about recruiting. What makes for a good recruit, Officer Moore?
Wow. An individual with a caliber of integrity, individual who are interested in changing the perception or the stigma of law enforcement. An individual who is willing to go the extra mile to ensure the safety of our citizens.
Officer Moore, what inspired you to become a cop?
Oh, wow. A couple of dynamics. Number one, I definitely have always wanted to make a difference in the community of which I grew up in, and allowed me the opportunity to serve or to give back. This has allowed me to be able to interact with individuals to let them know that law enforcement is actually on your side. Not all officers are out to arrest you. That was simply one of my intentions when I came onto the department to let them know that there are great officers out there, and officers who are compassionate enough to ensure the safety of the citizens.
Now, let me ask you: are you from Memphis? Is this your hometown?
Originally, yes. Originally, I'm from Memphis. Of course, I lived in Florida for a while, and then as a young kid, and then came back to Memphis because this is just my passage. I just simply wanted to be here. In fact, I left my mom in Florida, so to come back to reside with my grandmother.
And so, when did you go through the academy?
Now, let me tell you something. Well, actually, back in 1994 is when I initially applied for this job, and I went through the entire process, and they gave me the final job offer. But I ended up at that time not accepting it for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to make certain that I had the maturity to do the job, because most people they're aware that they may or may not be mature, but however. They will simply do the job and not do the best job because they're not experienced in life, and they will just simply take on the task and not really knowing what they're getting into. So the thing was, when I decided to come back in 2008 to apply for the job, this basically allowed me the opportunity to go through the academy, 21 weeks of training, learned as much as I possibly could, and I was able to successfully graduate, and here I am.
This is an excellent introduction into requirements. I imagine the requirements have kind of changed since when you first went through the academy. Have the requirements changed?
Yes. In fact, recently we've just added 4 new ways of which we can now hire individuals who are interested in a career in law enforcement.
Before you go, let me go ahead and. You're listening to the Best in Blue right here on the Kentucky Network. Go right ahead, Officer Moore.
Absolutely. In fact, there are 2 ways of which individuals can actually be hired who have military experience. One, if they have 2 years of cumulative active duty military, which means that they've been deployed 6 months here, 8 months here, 12 months there, and it adds up to 24 months. Then those individuals are now eligible to join and become the Best in Blue. And then secondly, for individuals, now this one here is more exciting to me, is that individuals who have served as a military reservist for 5 years, they can now join the Memphis Police Department.
That's new? That's a new?
Yes, that's one of the new ones. I'm extremely excited about that. Every branch of military, we will now be able to do that, even National Guards.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that is incredible.
Well, and I guess a lot of people think that when you say the 2 years of military service, I never thought about the reservist piece. I mean, it just never crossed my mind. I kind of thought that was just a part of the 2-year piece, but I guess not.
Absolutely. I mean, and it was introduced a while back, but however, I'm just simply glad that we decided to move forward with it. This will open the door and allow individuals who are disciplined. It allows those individuals to become the Best in Blue. They're just simply highly qualified candidates. Now, as far as college is concerned, these individuals must have or possess a minimum of 54 semester college credit hours, preferably an associate's degree from a regionally accredited school. But now one of the new requirements, which is another one I'm so excited about this.
I can see the excitement in you right now. We need to hold this guy back here later because he's going to hire about 200 people. Can
we get some backup? We need backup. He's excited.
He's going to hire about 200 guys over there, and ladies.
Right. So the alternative to the 54 college credit hours from a regional school, now we're able to now hire those individuals who have a criminal justice degree earned at a nationally accredited school such as Remington or ITG Tech and National College and so forth. Whereas in the past, and for the last 4 years that I've actually been doing this, I can't even count the number of applicants that we've actually turned down who had a criminal justice degree at Remington, and we can now hire those individuals.
And so we're talking kind of about an associate's degree, right?
Yes.
And so how long do they have to obtain this associate's degree?
Okay. Now I think you may be referring to which is the third requirement there's military, there's education, and then there's work experience. You may be talking about the work experience requirement, whereas these individuals, as long as they can prove and show that they have a stable background, such as a 5-year work history.
And that's new. I hear that's new, right?
That is one of the new
Okay.
ones. Right. Now, for those individuals, of course, they would have to go through the same employment process and be vetted. And then once we hire those individuals, then at that point, as long as they contractually agree to earn their associate's degree from a regionally accredited school, we can now hire those individuals. We give them 4 years from their date of employment, should they be hired, to become for continued employment with the Memphis Police Department, that is. So this is an excellent opportunity because there are quite a few people that come up to me all the time, says, Officer Moore, I really wish you guys would drop the requirements and things of that nature. But however, we don't want to lower our standards because our officers are the best, our training is the best, our standards are the highest. So we want to maintain that. But this is a creative way of those individuals who have a stable background, who really have a passion and a desire to do the job. And this allows them to circumvent that on the front end, and they're able to acquire it on the back end.
Standards, just real quick on standards. I hear that there are other police departments around the country that come to Memphis to observe some of the training processes that you all use within the department. Is that right?
You're absolutely right. In fact, our training at the Memphis Police Department is simply second to none within this region, and I'll tell you why. Because our training academy is CALIA certified, which is a national recognition for police departments. But not only is our department, the Memphis Police Department itself, CALIA certified, our training academy has its own independent national recognition certification, and that in itself means a whole lot across not only just within the region but across the nation. And then also our department, the Memphis Police Training Department, that is, we are also VA certified, which is, you'd be hard pressed to find a lot of agencies that are VA certified, which basically means that this allows military personnel or service members to come aboard and take advantage of their post 9/11 GI Bill, where they will earn additional money in training while going through the training academy.
You are a wealth of knowledge, young man. Let me tell you that right now. We're gonna folks. We're gonna be right back. It's DC and Leah right here with Officer Kevin Moore of the recruiting team with the Memphis Police Department. You're listening to Best in Blue right here on the Kazukian Network.
Artivism.
Artivism features conversations with artists, creatives, and citizens working at the intersection of art and social activism. And I'm Linda Steele, your host. I'm a grant maker, change maker, social venture capitalist, and I invest in individuals and projects that use the arts as a vehicle for social change.
Artivism on the Kazukian Network.
Best in Blue.
We've got with us the Lieutenant Tyrone Curry. Lieutenant, how are you, sir?
I'm very well.
So we'll teach them how to be good communicators.
The brainchild of our own police director right here in the city of Memphis.
On the Kazukian Network.
Hey, this is Colonel Sam Hines with MPD. You're listening to the Best in Blue, powered by the Kazukian Network.
Hey, we're back with you right here on the Best in Blue on the Kazukian Network. I'm DC, sitting alongside my trusty cohort. That would be Leah Romer. Hit a home run, Homer.
We're
Leah
back
Romer.
with the Best in Blue.
We're back, right? And
We
guess
are
what?
back.
We've got the head lead recruiter, the best recruiter in the world, working with the Memphis Police Department, Kevin Moore.
Where is he?
You know who you are, man. You know you do a great job. I've never seen anybody with such excitement, such exuberance, and apparently with such love for what they do.
Oh, wow.
And I applaud you for that and the work that you do, not only with this administration, but in past years, in trying to bring the very best to our citizens in terms of recruiting.
Well, I thoroughly enjoy what I do. I mean, it is my daily passion. I wake up every morning. How can I make somebody else's life a little bit better? How can I fulfill dreams, to become a law enforcement officer? That is what I eat up. That's what I do every morning.
Man, we need to get this guy's phone number.
Literally one of the best in blue in the house.
Definitely. Let's revisit a little piece about, and I think this is one of the newer requirements, and this one's really piqued a lot of people's interest, and that is this 5-year work history piece to qualify now to become an officer, a law enforcement officer with Memphis Police Department. When in the past, this has not been the case, right?
Right, exactly. This is one of the new things that we've introduced for individuals who are interested in a career in law enforcement, but don't quite have the minimum requirements necessary to become the best in blue. And for that reason, we have modified our hiring practice without compromising our standards of employment to expand our reach for highly qualified applicants. Now, moreover, a 5-year history of stable and verifiable work experience. I mean, these are individuals who have held a full-time job with a history accompanied by, a reasonable timeline or commitment for them to earn their college or at least a minimum requirement for college to join our department. We can now offer that to these individuals. They will now be able to join our department. Now, this simply just allows us to be more competitive with other agencies, including Shelby County as well as Nashville Metro. That's right. Simply because applicants are required to obtain their associate's degree as a condition of continued employment with us.
Now, I want to make sure that they know that now. Now, the 5-year piece is there, but also a part of that piece is the commitment that you will at least seek to get those at least 54 hours, right? Or the associate's degree?
That is correct, from a regional accredited school.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Wow. Amazing. Romer, what do you think?
This is amazing stuff.
It's phenomenal.
I think this really strengthens the recruitment process.
It simply does. And not only that, it gives
the playing field.
Well, it gives our citizens hope that we're going to restore public safety. We're going to regain public confidence in our department to know that our citizens are actually going to be safe, and we're creative in our efforts to hire and attract highly qualified people to put them on the streets.
And you talk about recruiting and highly qualified. I remember, and I'm up in age now, but I remember way back when I came out of high school or just going to college, that the city of Dallas, and I'll just call them out, but they were actively recruiting. And you could see this. I mean, they were actively recruiting, but now I understand that we're losing offices all over the country.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's almost like they're not going to the next best city. They're just probably leaving the force, or maybe, as a good friend of mine, Darren Goods, loves to do, starts a flower shop. I don't know, but again, I think what happens is that people don't understand that this is tough work. And it's got to be love work, right?
Well, absolutely. Number one, it begins with the passion. If you don't have the passion or the desire to do this job, there's no need of getting in it. If you're just getting it for the salary or the money or the income or the power and all that.
Definitely not the money.
Well, right, definitely not the money. And then you have some that want to get in for the power, and that's something that we don't want to attract. We don't want those individuals simply because we're looking for individuals who really, really want to treat our citizens with respect during each and every encounter.
You're listening to the Best in Blue, powered by Kazukian Network.
I like that, Leah. I like that. So now let's talk a little bit about one of the other programs I think that helps with the recruitment with our police department. That is the PST program.
Oh, okay.
And I think the PST program, some may not know what it is, but you can explain to our listeners what the PST program, or what it stands for, the acronym stands for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, now those acronyms, PST simply stands for Police Service Technician. All right, and it's their daily duty to assist citizens on the streets as it relates to accidents. They're what they simply do is enforce the traffic, direct traffic, and to ensure the safety of the citizens while they're driving, all while being employed by the Memphis Police Department and preparing them for the next level of their career path to law enforcement with our department while attending school. Their schooling is actually paid for by the city of Memphis, and once they earn their associate's degree, then we transition them into becoming a police officer. So it kind of gives them an insight of
almost a training ground, so to speak,
exactly,
especially in traffic.
So, yes,
especially in traffic, I would
absolutely
think.
Yes.
Wow. So you get in, hey, look, man, I've already cut my teeth in traffic. I was a PST officer, right? I ain't gonna go back over there no more.
Right. Yeah. And
wow.
It's an incredible opportunity, a stepping stone for those individuals to come aboard and to pursue that career or that passion in law enforcement, and particularly those at a very early age, because of course we won't be able to transition them until they actually turn age 21. So that's an excellent concept. But however, we also have another piece that it's called the Blue Path. Now, that particular program is designed and catered to high school students who are graduating from high school, and those individuals are simply on track during the high school year, the final year of school, and then they are committed to a series of testing as well as informational sessions and things of that nature, just to keep them engaged or keep them on track. So when they graduate from school and they successfully test and pass everything, then when they graduate from high school, then they will have a job. In fact, our second Blue Path class actually began on this past Monday.
And so they become the PSTs, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
But the difference is that these individuals, their education requirements are just a little bit higher than the standard PST program. And then these individuals, their schooling will actually be paid for and funded through the state, through the Tennessee Promise program, where the funds, the city isn't responsible for paying for their schooling. And all in all, it's a win-win for the city of Memphis. It's a win-win for the candidates who come through the program.
Really interesting. So if you want to become one of the best in blue, it's interesting to know that the options have changed, the requirements have been modified. And so if you've always had it in your heart to become a police officer and you're thinking about going through the process of going through the academy, just know things have changed a little. Might be the path for you.
Might be the path for you.
Absolutely. I agree. Leah, I might need to take you with me on some of the recruiting events that we go to.
I don't know.
It would be a pleasure, sir.
Hey, we can't lose it right here on Best in Blue. But anyway, you're listening to Best in Blue right here on the Kazuki Network. I'm DC, Leah Romer sitting here, and we're chopping it up with Officer Kevin Moore of the recruiting team for the Memphis Police Department. We'll be right back.
Best in Blue.
Best in Blue.
That means we go to the schools, we go to the churches, we do all types of programs to try to build the relationship between law enforcement and the community.
Best in Blue on the Kazukian Network. We're getting funky, y'all.
And we have to thank Dick Durbin for being strong enough to actually come out of the Oval Office and say, hey, by the way.
Because he didn't have to say it, did he?
He didn't have to say it,
and I appreciate that.
Because I tell people all the time, just because you skin folk don't mean you kin folk.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Just because you skin folk, you ain't got to be kin folk.
It's Funky Politics on the Kazukian Network.
I'm Officer Kevin Moore with the Memphis Police Recruiting Team, and you're listening to the Best in Blue on Kazukian Network. Now, join MPD.com.
We're back with this Best in Blue show right here on the Kazukian Network. Of course, I'm DC sitting in here along with my trusty cohort, Leah Romer, and we've got one of the finest officers that Memphis Police Department has ever hired, Mr. Kevin Moore.
We have Officer Kevin Moore here.
We're giving you all these accolades, man, because you're a great guy. You're a great guy, man.
Wow. Now, you know what? The scary thing is, now I have to live up to it.
Well, continue doing that. Kevin's with the Memphis Police Department's recruiting team, and we've been talking about the recruitment efforts of our department and how we can get those numbers up. And, man, you guys have done a lot of research and a lot of work on how we can engage, I guess, in other words, spreading the field out, where we can get a lot more recruits into what we think would be a good space for them and also for the city.
Absolutely.
And I tell you, I see Officer Moore, I see you everywhere recruiting all over the city.
I know, Leah.
He's like in grocery stores and, IHOP down there.
Right.
He's doing everything,
recruiting everywhere for the Best in Blue.
Right.
So.
We'll be at the Memphis Zoo soon. So,
Oh, God. No, whatever.
We are. Seriously.
Can you tell us what a typical day is like in recruiting for Officer Moore,
Wow.
lead recruiter, best in blue?
Do you really want to know that? Oh my God, this show isn't long enough for me to.
No, just when you get to work. Just when you get to work. Don't start at home. Just when you get to work.
Wow, it starts with the messages. You know, every morning I arrive at work, I've got at least a minimum of 12 voice messages.
Oh, wow.
And probably about 40 calls.
Of interest in the applicants?
Yes, very much so. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
Applicants that are actually in the process, applicants who have just follow-up questions, or applicants who just simply need reassurance. Then numerous of emails. Typically, in most cases, I try to answer most emails at night or when I'm at home or so forth.
Sure.
But when I get to the office, because I know when I get there, I have to interact and talk with a lot of people. Yeah, and then set up our recruitment schedules and then touch bases, do some networking, reach out to military bases and colleges and universities and so forth.
You know, I heard the director tell me once before, he said he doesn't have a real big problem with applicants. The issue has been qualified applicants. So you may get 10,000 applicants in, but if you get 10,000, you get down to the nitty gritty, you only get about 1,000 you can actually talk to.
Absolutely.
Man, wow, that's amazing.
A good point. So if you're
Exactly.
thinking about becoming a cop, what number can you call?
Well, absolutely. It's 901 MEM-HIRE. That's 901 MEM-HIRE, which is actually 901 636 4474.
I'm glad you said that because I'd be looking on my phone. Now, what the heck is MEM-HIRE? You know,
You can join MPD.com. You can do that. You can go to that website.
And let's talk a little bit more about the recruiting process on a day-to-day basis. You say you start out, you get there, you want to go through your emails at home and so forth, but now you got those calls. After that, are you going out every day to a place or an appointment to talk about recruiting with the department?
Well, simply most days, yes. Most of the time. Of course, there's other follow-ups, and then there's also other things that that is required of me as well from an administrative side as well, because I'm actually in City Hall is where we are now headquartering our recruitment efforts through our public safety recruitment team, and of course the Memphis Police Department recruiting team is a part of that branch. So so there's quite a bit of things that we actually do on a daily basis, but mainly reaching out, touching people, contacting them, following up, which is most important.
Reaching out, touching people.
And if they're reaching out to you and they're thinking about becoming a cop, and they go to the website, what are some of the things they're going to see in the website? Does it talk about salary?
Absolutely, yeah. There are a variety of different things that are on the website for them, such as the salaries, the benefits. We also have a page designed for requirements. We have a page that gives them our academic courses, so they'll have how many hours and so forth that they'll be actually up against. For basic recruiters, 880 hours for them to complete the training academy. Wow. That is the requirement. And then we also have a page, it's our hiring process page, which is to me is the most important page, because that page simply allows the applicant to view our process from the very beginning to the end, so they'll know what comes next. Because I get a lot of calls, say, hey, Officer Moore, I just finished the run, what comes next? Hey, Officer Moore, I just finished the psychological test, what comes next? That lines it up. And then not only that, we have 2 videos on there where they can actually, it demonstrates the physical agilities test that they're going to be engaged in. It also allows them to take advantage of a practice exam, so they can prepare for the written exams. So it's quite a bit of information on there for them.
We get a lot of questions about the physical agility Excuse me.
Hold on right there. You're listening to the Best in Blue right here on the Kazuki Network. She's one of our Best in Blue too, by the way.
Indeed.
That was my own tongue that I was getting twisted on there. Sorry about that.
But you were talking about the physical agility test.
Yes. So sometimes I even get emails asking, so how long is the physical agility test? What should I expect? Do I have to do sit-ups?
Well, exactly.
How long do I have to do the run?
Right. And all of that's actually on the website.
Go right to the website.
At joinmpd.com, and they just simply hit the hiring process.
Now, you said something a moment ago about one of the important parts on the website, and I think one of the most important parts that some people are going to ask is the pay. A lot of folks think, well, they don't pay anything over there, but now I think we were talking offline. You said an officer can make about $61,000 a year or so. Is that
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Not only does our department or our city have excellent benefits and perks for the police officers, because when you compare our department to others, you'll see the advantages that we have and a lot of things and perks and things and benefits that we have to offer. But however, as far as the salary is concerned, where a city has a medium household income here in Memphis of $37,000, well, the average officer after 3 years who've earned a bachelor's degree, their base salary just for showing up for work is simply $61,000.
Wow.
And which means that, the sky is the limit. It gives them an opportunity to be able to live comfortable. It gives them an opportunity to be able to go on vacation, to enjoy their families, to save money, to even pay their bills on time if they choose to. Yeah. But however,
well, we hope to do that.
No, I was just kidding, though. But however, the salary in itself is very comfortable. It's the average salary of what an officer would receive for a city the size of Memphis per capita, and we're very competitive in that area, and it just simply gives an advantage.
Speaking of other cities, you were talking to me earlier about you guys going to go on this not a worldwide recruiting trip, but a nationwide trip. So, and you're going to go as far as Seattle, is that right?
Well, yeah.
In terms of recruiting?
Yes. In the very, very near future here, we will be visiting other cities to recruit and identify highly qualified people to join us. And we did some research, and based on research, it determines the markets of which we're willing to hit in order to offer our product, our city of Memphis, our police department product.
That's it.
Because we have an excellent piece to offer those individuals to come here.
I tell folks all the time, sell Memphis. If you sell Memphis on people, you sell this city, folks are going to come. They're going to come.
Absolutely right.
They are going to come. They're going to enjoy. Sell the city, right, Leah?
Indeed.
Exactly.
We have to.
DC.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about.
Memphis is a different place. I mean, even Elvis said it himself,
What did Elvis say?
He said it's something about Memphis. I don't know if you remember that interview he did back in 1958,
I wasn't around then, but I get your point. I get your point.
And they asked him, and he could have lived anywhere in the world, but Memphis.
Give me some insight for our listeners. They want to get in contact with you. They've got a kid a kid for Blue Path. They've got somebody for PST. They got a husband or a daughter or a son that's just getting out of school and they're interested in law enforcement. How can they get in contact with you at your office there?
Okay, simply, number one, all they simply have to do is go to our website at joinmpd.com, and that is where they will be able to peruse the website to get information and so forth. And that's where they'll find most of the information that they need, even frequently asked questions, because we have a page there. And then they can also reach me at the office. They can also call our recruitment line, which is 901 MEM Hire. My direct number is 901-636-1747. They can also reach us via email at publicsafetyrecruitment@memphistn.gov and ask any questions or any concerns that they may have about a career in law enforcement with the Memphis Police Department.
Man, you guys are really accessible.
Interesting stuff.
Really accessible.
With the new changes
Absolutely.
and modifications. And
we have to be. Yeah, we have to be.
You're nimble on your feet. Let's do well. Let's get out there. Let's get some of those folks from Seattle into Memphis. I'd like to see them, all right?
Absolutely.
Hey, you're listening to the Best in Blue right here on the Kentuckian Network.
Best in Blue. Best in Blue.
Hi, this is Lead Recruiter with the Memphis Police Department, Officer Kevin Moore. Join the Best in Blue. Our requirements are achievable. Our standards are the highest. Our officers are the finest. We are the Best in Blue. Join MPD.com.
Best in Blue.
Riffin' on Jazz.
I'm Howard Robertson, one of your hosts for Riffin' on Jazz. Riffin' is your weekly visit with friends where we dive all in to that classic African-American art form called jazz. So don't miss Riffin' with me and my man Melvin Massey every week on your favorite broadcast and podcast platforms.
Riffin' on Jazz on the Kentuckian Network.
Let me tell you something. We have had one heck of a show right here on the Best in Blue on the Kentuckian Network. When I tell you that we got a guest that's going to bring it, trust us, they are going to bring it. Kevin Moore, lead recruiter with the Memphis Police Department, he laid it out. He laid out a plan for us to see how we're going to achieve getting those numbers up of those new recruits of police officers. Am I not right, Leah?
You're absolutely right. And trust and believe, he brought it. He talked about the salary. He talked about the benefits. He talked about the requirements. He absolutely brought it today.
And I tell you what, there have been other cities that have come into Memphis to recruit our officers. Guess what? We'll be seeing you out there somewhere, big time towns. We're coming near you. We're going to come out there and we're going to do some recruiting of our own. And they're going to come to see a city that's on the rise. The city of Memphis is on the rise. And I guarantee you, these people that we bring in, or if you're right here in the city of Memphis, you'll enjoy being a law enforcement officer right here on the Best in Blue. Am I not right, Leah?
You're absolutely right, DC. We need to focus on recruitment. And if you need more information on joining the Memphis Police Department, you can go to joinmpd.com. You're listening to the Best in Blue on the Kadzukian Network.
Best in Blue on the Kadzukian Network.